let's look at how to add labels and also look at cursors. The gear icon up here is going to give us some options to add a label. You just type in whatever you want. You know, if this is my charge, discharge, for example, curve, or whatever description you want. You can also put in here maybe the components you used, like what was the value of the resistor, what was the value of the capacitor, maybe calculate a time constant and notate that. So really any notes, any titles you want, any notes you want about the display, they're going to be able to be put right into a label, and just put the label wherever you want. I could notate certain points on the waveform, so you get the idea. But that's all up here. And then we also have the ability, I guess, over here to change this heading here. In the channel menus, there's a little gear icon, so let's look there. And this label C1, it actually is for channel 1, but it corresponds with my capacitor C1. But I mean, if I had something else I was trying to display, I could put that in there. Like if it was the reference voltage I was trying to display, I could just change that labeling. Now, if you click on, I have to click over here to get it to change. And you can see now channel 1 is titled V reference, although it's not really what it is. So we can go back to our C1, and let's see, what else can we do with that? I think there was something else in here. Oh yeah, the units themselves. If we were looking at the voltage across a sense resistor, and so we plotted out really what would be a current with Ohm's law there, we might want to notate this channel 1 not as voltage but as current, and we could do that right here. We could just pick current, and we could also apply some attenuation so that if I was using like a 1 ohm or a 10 ohm or a 100 ohm sense resistor, I can take care of that in this attenuation. So those are some clever little tricks you can do to actually get you know, maybe this y-axis to show literally the current that would be there from Ohm's law from the voltage across a sense resistor. Okay, so that's some labeling, that's some titles here. To get cursors on the screen, well, you got a couple options. To do some quick measurements, if you want to, they have some already pre-configured options. These 3 buttons just sort of turn that on and off. If you click on it, it'll bring on, let's see, if we hover over it, it tells us, I think, what it is. Let me turn it off, maybe it'll tell me. It's a quick measure and it's just free to go anywhere you want. So if I click on that, now I'm going to pick 2 points. Maybe I'll try to get to my sort of my 0 volt point. What am I looking at here? Yeah, I want to get down to about 0 volts. It's, you know, just going to try to grab something there. That's pretty close. And then maybe if I wanted to look at that time constant for this charging cap, I could get to I don't know, close to where that time constant is, and there you go. And you can see it's showing me channel 1's voltage at this point and channel 1's voltage at this point. It's showing me the time at each point. It's absolute time based off of the 0 second time, which is time 0 is marked right here. And then we have the change in voltage from the one point that I picked to the other, and that is right here. Delta 1.89 volts is how much the capacitor's voltage has changed, and here's in how much time that has occurred from here to here. So it's giving you you know, x and y axis information as far as the change, and that is the time constant that I would quickly measure. I guess, you know, that would be the voltage I would expect. 63% of the 3 volts is here, and there's my 1 second time constant. I'm actually using I think a 10K and 100 microfarad cap, so that would be what I would expect. They give you a little more information. They invert the change in time, so instead of a period, if you wanted to see it as a frequency, and I think here it looks like the change in the change. So it sounds like a rate or maybe a slope. in volts per second. So I think they're trying to give you a slope here. Now that would be, I think, if that would be a linear line from that point to that point. So um, you would have to, that would apply if that was a linear change, I think. Let's look at some of the other ones. We can toggle that one off. Oh, one quick thing. I think I noticed you can only do one measurement at a time. Like I had the idea to also measure the the discharge side of the cap. So if I'm discharging it, I would expect to see the same time constant. And I went over here and clicked, and that one disappeared. So I don't think you can do more than one, or at least I couldn't find out how. But let's grab that point, and so I could do the same thing. And what would I be going to? Down to where am I going? I'm going to 1.11, I think. I'm going to go down 63%, which leaves me at 37% of 3 volts if I can get there, but I don't really have to do it. It's close enough. So something like that, and now it shows me again the change, the absolute voltages and times, and then the change in time is here. It took 1 second to go through a change of 1.9 volts. And that's the time constant I would expect. So again, I think you can only do one measurement at a time. At least that's what I found. So we can, if you want to get rid of that, then you just turn that off. I could pick another one. There's 3 of them here. Quick measure, vertical. I don't know. Let's see what that's all about. I don't know. I'm just picking a time. Oh, and then I can pick another time. So and then it gives me all the information, probably the absolute points and the differences in voltage and so on, and the slopes and the inverses of the time to get frequencies. So you could measure a period and it would give you the frequency then with the inverse here and so on. So you just have to look closely at those numbers. Again, I don't think I can do more than one. If I click on some other spot, yeah. Right. And the way I'm doing it, I guess I'm clicking and letting go and then going. I'm not clicking and dragging. Clicking and dragging. Oh, what does that do? I don't even know. I guess you could do, it's moving things, too many things, I'm afraid. Okay, so let's reset that. Gets a little confusing. I'm going to turn that one off. The last one up here in the short, quick measure menu, you could do a pulse measurement. Let's see what that's about. Let's say I had oh, I see. It's just kind of already grabbing for the pulse. It's following the voltage. So I could just say, what's the pulse width from there to there? I guess that's the idea. So anyway, those are some preset, prearranged cursors all for you to use. You have to toggle them on and off. Otherwise, you can create your own custom set of cursors. You can grab Y cursors here. So I'm going to click that and see. Now, yeah, I had this thing happen before. They're down there. They're off the screen. So it's down there. So it's a little hard to find it. There's a little box here I could drag up. Or if I couldn't do that, I guess I could just move the positioning here all the way up and bring the cursor up to where I can grab it. But I noticed sometimes it drops them a little off the screen. I suspect it's because my 0 volts is way down low here. Maybe that's it. So there's a cursor, and let me grab another one. And again, it's off the screen. But you can see, you can build up. Maybe I wanted to take a measurement here. Maybe the difference between that and that point for whatever reason. And you can see the settings for each cursor. It shows you the position. You could choose a reference. Or not. I could reference it off of 2 for a number for a measurement. I'm going to put none for Y2. Actually, I'm going to switch places here. Maybe whatever, it doesn't really matter. Got to grab it. Oh no. Grab it. I'll leave it there. How do I grab these things? They're moving together. That might be because, oh, yeah, because they're referenced. So here, yeah, this one, it does have a default. It defaulted with a reference to channel 1. So it's going to show me the difference between Y2 and Y1. I could take that off if I want to. I could put it to none. Now they're just independent. The color, I can change the color if I want to. I can remove them. It shows me the position. I can click here to make it a position. I can say I want you to be at 2 volts, and there it goes. Really nice. I took the reference away, didn't I? So let's see if I can grab this thing. I should be able to move these independently if they're not referencing each other. But again, I could put that referencing back. I could say I wonder what the difference between them is. So I can just do that real quickly with a reference. I'll reference to channel 1, and now this number is actually, oh, that's still the absolute one, but it's giving me a delta here. That's the difference between the 2 cursors. I could set that probably too, couldn't I? I could say I want them 1 volt apart. Boom, I've got it. And then I could probably move. So anyway, lots of ways you can use these and set them up or not. And same thing goes with the X cursors. You can click on that and you'll bring up an X cursor. Click it again, you get another one. And again, they show their absolute. This one's showing absolute position with reference to time 0 seconds. This one looks like it comes up as a default reference to channel 1, which is they assume they guess that that's most often what you want to do. If I want to measure the distance in time between these two, I'm doing that, right? That little delta, yeah, it's the difference between cursor 2 and cursor 1 is 5.9706 seconds. Here we can prove that out. If you're working at figuring these out, you can just go to easy spots to see that it proves what you think. I mean, I'm going to try to go to 0. Where is time 0? But there I am at 8 seconds apart. And that sort of proves it out. Yeah. It also shows me the voltage on the waveform. So that's nice. Did these show that? What are these showing? These show voltage. I don't know if they show time. It's kind of nice. It seems like the vertical cursors show voltage and time. That's pretty nice. So yeah. Okay. So you can definitely play around with it. I wish I would. I wonder if I could. I can only show the voltage on one of them at a time. I'm not sure. So, and when I click, it goes away. Lots of things to figure out. What if I select these? Huh. So, sometimes those numbers go away, and if you need them there for the capture, I'm clicking on other things and I'm losing those numbers. So that's some of the game here to learn these cursors, the little tricks. To keep that number on there, I might have to keep that cursor selected. It seems like that's the case. So, but anyhow, those little details you can play with, but I wanted to show you where they are, where to find them. And then this, of course, is that custom setting where I can like move cursors. I can build out as many as I want. I'm not limited. That's the thing. I can just keep going. So just so that's so I could build all kinds of measurements up on the screen and then take a capture. When I'm done with it, I can wipe them all out at once. If I want to remove all, I think I want to do that. And start over. Whoops. Down here, remove all. Yeah. Okay. So the little details of those cursors, I think you can work out on your own playing around with them, but it's a way to take measurements of voltage and time, and I think you catch the idea. That's where to find those. Otherwise, I can't think of anything else at the moment. I'm not sure if we can resize this or not. I thought we could, that the labels, and I can't find out how to change that font or that size. So I can't help you with that at the moment. Like I said, I thought that I was doing that at one point, and I don't remember how. Hovering over this, nope. Okay, I'll let that go. Okay, so that might be something we discover later, but that looks small. I'd like it to be a little larger. Okay, that's good for now.